If you drive down almost any rural two-lane highway in America, past the rusted barns and the endless stretches of cornfields, you're bound to see the exact same thing every few miles: a giant yellow sign glowing against the tree line. Dollar General. Right now, there are over 19,000 Dollar General stores scattered across 47 states. To put that into perspective, that is more locations than McDonald's, Starbucks, and Walmart combined inside the United States. They are opening new stores at a rate of roughly 3 every single day. While giant legacy retailers are shuttering doors, declaring bankruptcy, and watching online commerce eat their lunch, Dollar General is quietly pulling in around $38 billion a year. How is a store where almost everything historically cost a buck or two building a retail empire that rivals the biggest corporations on Earth? The knee-jerk assumption is that Dollar General is just a smaller, cheaper version of Walmart. People think they just buy cheap plastic trinkets from overseas, mark them up by 50 cents, and sell to people who can't afford a trip to the big box store. But if you look under the hood of their financial statements, you quickly realize that is completely dead wrong. Dollar General isn't just a retail store. It's a hyper-optimized real estate machine, a masterclass in behavioral psychology, and an extreme lesson in supply chain logistics. In fact, when you break down the actual math, Dollar General is often significantly more expensive per ounce than the high-end grocery stores in wealthy suburbs. Here is what nobody tells you about how this $38 billion engine actually works, and why their business model is almost impossible for anyone else to beat. To understand the genius of Dollar General, you first have to understand where they build. Walmart's entire strategy for 30 years was built around scale. They build a massive 180,000 square foot supercenter, drop it in a town of 50,000 people, draw shoppers from 30 miles away, and crush every mom and pop shop in the process. But that model leaves massive blind spots. There are thousands of tiny towns across America with populations of 2,000, 1,500, or even 800 people. Towns where building a giant Walmart makes zero financial sense. Towns that don't even have a full-service grocery store. This is Dollar General's target zone. Their internal real estate rule is famously simple. They look for rural locations, often where the median household income is under $45,000 a year, situated at least 15 to 20 minutes away from the nearest major retailer. They intentionally go where no one else wants to build. And because these stores are tiny, usually around 7,500 square feet, or roughly the size of a couple of tennis courts, they can drop one anywhere. They don't need a massive commercial zoning permit or a 10-acre plot of land. They can build a store in less than 6 months on a tiny corner lot next to a gas station. Now let's talk about the construction and operating costs, because this is where the money starts piling up. Building a full-sized Walmart or Target costs tens of millions of dollars up front. Building a brand new Dollar General costs less than $500,000. In fact, Dollar General often doesn't even buy the land or own the buildings. They use developer-funded build-to-suit lease agreements. A localized developer buys the dirt, builds the basic steel box to Dollar General's exact specifications, and then leases it back to Dollar General on a long-term contract. Dollar General walks in, puts up the yellow sign, stocks the shelves, and opens the doors, with virtually zero tied-up capital. Inside the store, the cost-cutting becomes almost fanatical. Walk into any Dollar General during peak hours. How many employees do you usually see? 2, sometimes just 1 person, standing near the register while simultaneously trying to stock a pallet of detergent in aisle 3. By keeping store layouts hyper-standardized, every store manager knows where every single box goes before it even leaves the truck. There are no fancy display cases, no high-tech digital signage, and no meat counters or bakeries that require specialized labor or expensive sanitation. They don't even have background music playing to save on public performance licensing fees. Every single line item on the balance sheet is squeezed until it bleeds. As a result, a typical Dollar General store becomes profitable shockingly fast, often within its first year of operation. Once a store breaks even, almost every dollar brought in after labor and lease costs goes straight to corporate cash flow. So if the real estate is cheap and the labor is minimal, what about the products? This brings us to the biggest illusion in retail economics, the perception of price. If you walk into Dollar General with $20 in your pocket, you feel like a king. You can walk out with a bag full of toilet paper, dish soap, cereal, milk, and snacks. You leave feeling like you got an incredible bargain compared to spending $60 at a major supermarket. But let's break down the actual numbers. Suppose you need dish soap.
At a major warehouse club or big box store, you might buy a massive 75-ounce bottle of brand-name soap for $10. That works out to roughly 13 cents an ounce. At Dollar General, you might see a bottle of that exact same dish soap for $3. $3 sounds way cheaper than $10, but that bottle is only 12 ounces. That works out to 25 cents an ounce, nearly double the rate of the big box store. Dollar General is a master of what retail analysts call package downsizing or unit price arbitrage. They work directly with giant consumer goods companies like Procter & Gamble, Unilever, and General Mills to create unique pack sizes specifically designed for their shelves. The manufacturer creates a smaller box of cereal, a tinier bottle of bleach, or a 4-roll pack of paper towels engineered to hit a specific low price point, like $2, $3, or $5. For a customer living paycheck to paycheck who might only have $30 left in their bank account to last until Friday, buying the $30 bulk pack at Costco isn't an option, even if it's economically smarter in the long run. They literally do not have the liquidity to buy in bulk.
They need the $3 item today. Dollar General effectively charges a premium for small pack convenience and immediate affordability. They aren't selling cheaper goods, they are selling smaller cash outlay opportunities. And because the per-unit margin on those smaller packages is often much higher, Dollar General collects a healthy profit on every single item. Then there is the product mix itself. Dollar General doesn't waste shelf space on low-margin clutter. Around 80% of what they sell falls into the consumables category: paper towels, trash bags, canned food, soda, and beauty products. These are non-discretionary goods. It doesn't matter if the economy is booming or in a deep recession. People still need to wipe their counters, wash their hair, and feed their kids. This makes Dollar General almost entirely recession-proof. When the economy drops, low-income shoppers spend more time there, and middle-income shoppers trade down from Target and brand-name grocery stores to stretch their budgets. In recent years, Dollar General has started pushing aggressively into higher-margin territory. They've added refrigerated cooler doors to thousands of stores, allowing them to sell higher-margin dairy, frozen foods, and beverages. They've also launched private label brands that look eerily similar to national name brands but cost less to make, netting the company significantly higher gross margins. However, running a $38 billion empire built on low-cost labor and aggressive expansion isn't without massive structural friction. Over the last few years, the very things that made Dollar General an economic juggernaut have started creating severe operational headaches. Because stores are staffed by tiny crews, worker burnout and turnover are notoriously high. Stocking pallets while running registers leads to cluttered aisles, unboxed inventory sitting on the floor, and increasing security risks. Chronic understaffing has also made the chain a massive target for inventory loss, commonly known as retail shrink. When there is only one person working in a 7,000 square foot store, shoplifting and inventory mismanagement inevitably spike.
Furthermore, communities across the country have started fighting back. Dozens of small towns have passed formula retail ordinances or dollar store bans, arguing that the rapid proliferation of dollar stores drives out local grocery stores, creates food deserts lacking fresh produce, and drains local economies. In response, Dollar General has had to pivot. They've begun rolling out new store concepts like Pop Shelf, which targets suburban, higher-income shoppers with home decor and party supplies, competing directly with stores like Five Below and TJ Maxx. They are also expanding fresh produce offerings to thousands of rural locations to counter the food desert critique and secure local government approvals. At the end of the day, Dollar General's rise isn't an accident, nor is it a simple retail story. It is a precise mathematical response to the economic geography of modern America. They identified millions of underserved consumers stranded in retail deserts, built a real estate network that costs a fraction of traditional stores, and mastered the art of low-outlay price anchoring.
They realized long ago that you don't need giant grand openings, lavish marketing campaigns, or high-tech automated checkout lanes to build an empire. You just need a small steel box on a rural crossroads, 2 workers, a yellow sign, and an understanding of the exact financial pressures facing the average American household. Love them or hate them, Dollar General didn't just find a niche in the American economy. They built a $38 billion moat around it. If you found this video valuable, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into business, money, and the hidden economics behind everyday life. What business or industry should we break down next? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.